Hey, you guys, what a pleasure. Let me tell you something. I'm out here in Chino, California, here at the Air Museum, and Kimbel Rich is kind enough to go ahead and bring this bad boy out, and so we can actually go ahead and share it with you guys. So first of all, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's been watching. I know my channel's fairly new. I'm going to try real hard to go ahead and bring you guys some more cool content that's not just about the car, but actually about the person as well. I feel that Volkswagen, what comes before the wagon? The Volks. So I'm here to go ahead and kind of bring some fun content to you. So stand by, you guys, and we're going to learn about this 1944 Kubel. So here we go. All right, here we are in Chino, California, and what a perfect place to actually go ahead and do an interview on an amazing car. I'm here with Kimbel Rich. Kimbel, what's happening, man?
Hey, we're in Vietnam right now.
I hope not.
Slugging it out.
Negative, dude. Negative, Ghost Rider. Hey, man, thank you so much for coming out. And actually, I mean, this is a great location, dude. This is a trip, just seeing all of this out here. But seeing you out here in this car, I mean, it was great. Right when we pulled up, somebody came up and said, "Hey, man, we're doing a thing in May. Can you bring this thing out?"
I already got a show to go to on
Yes,
in May
you
4th. So no,
dude.
it's an eye-catching car. Everywhere I go, where I drive it, people are always going like, "Oh, that's the thing." And I have to tell them, said, no, it's Grandpa.
I know, and it's so funny because there's so many people that probably think, is that thing real? You know, is it based off of a thing? So, but before we get into the car, Kimbel, I've known you for a few years, and I wanted to ask you a few questions. I mean, how did you get into Volkswagens? Because you've got some great cars, but how did you get into this?
Well, my first car was a 1959 15-window bus.
Your first car?
First car. And that was
a 15-window.
I grew up in Illinois, and for $300, I was able to convince my mom to buy this Volkswagen for me.
Oh my gosh!
And I drove and everybody, of course, this is like 1969.
Okay.
And you know, when I go to the parking lot, everybody has muscle cars,
right?
And they look at me like, "Wow, why'd you buy a bus?" And I said, "Because it's a bus, and you can do a lot more in a bus than you can in a muscle car."
Yeah, totally. That is wild.
Yeah, so it was, and after that, I just kept collecting Volkswagens, and then after a while, I steered away. I even had a nice bus when I was stationed in Europe for 3 years, and drove all over Europe with a 73 bay window, and
wow.
had a great time.
So now, hang on a second. Let's go back a step. So, what do you mean you were stationed? Talk to me. So you were in the service?
Oh yeah, I was in the military.
Okay. What branch?
I was Army. I was fortunate, and I got to stay in Germany. And unfortunately, I was not a Volkswagen fanatic like I am now. I mean, I missed out on so much that I would have been in heaven. And I just considered, oh, it's just a car to drive around.
Right.
And you know, today, you know, I look back, I'm going like, wow, you know, I had so many opportunities to buy split windows and oval windows. I mean, I bought an oval window, a ragtop. Guy walks into the PX. He says, "I'm done. I don't want this car anymore." And he says, "I'll take $100 for it." And he just restored it. And I went out. The body was perfect, and the engine, the crankshaft had gone through the engine, so it was just showing a crankshaft. So
wow.
I scrounged up an engine, sold the car for $300.
No way.
And I was happy because I tripled my money. Today I'd be like kicking myself because it was a perfect oval.
Do you remember by chance what year it was?
Yeah, it was a 56.
Oh my gosh.
56 a ragtop oval, you know.
Oh,
and just to this day, you know, I just, like I said, there were so many opportunities in the 70s to buy cars.
You know, I'm telling you, it's one of those things where hindsight's 20/20. So many people always say, "Oh, I wish I would have, could have," you know.
Yep.
But so how long did you have that? Now going back future forward then, so you had the 59 15 windows, your first car. How long did you have the car for?
Oh, I had that car all the way up until I was probably about 4 years.
Really?
I got it when I was 16. And then when I turned around 1920, I got rid of it, and then I bought a bay window, 68 camper.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
I was so disappointed with the 68 because it had no power. You know, I
Aw.
mean, it was a typical 1600 engine, and
Uh-huh.
it was a great car, but it just, you know, I went through like 2 engines in that car.
Wow.
So, you know, I was a little disappointed in that car.
What a bummer, man.
But it rode really great.
That is one thing about bay windows, that they definitely are a little bit more comfortable than an early split windows, that's
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty neat though. So now, when did you end up coming out here to California?
Well, I came out here when I was 18 years old after I graduated from high school.
Okay.
And went to college, and went to the military, and got back out, and then, you know, worked and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't until like 10 years ago that I started getting back into Volkswagens again, because I was sailing for a long time, and then I got rid of the boat. You know, it's 2 happiest days of your life. You buy a boat, you sell a boat. You know, and it's so true. Trust me. You know, I had a ton of cash. You know, and I'm telling my wife, I said, "Oh, I got to do something." You know, but you know, and I said, "Well, you know, when I was the happiest, it was when I had a Volkswagen." And so I found a 1954 Standard.
Okay.
And it was like I was on heroin. So then I bought a 54 convertible, and then I bought a 52 split, and then I bought a 44 Kubelwagen, and then I bought a Romesh, and then I bought a Gia, and then I bought a barn door bus, and it was just the collection just kept growing and growing, you know. So I'm at capacity right now. I need more room.
I like it. No, dude, if you have more room, you'll just fill it up.
I'll just buy more cars.
Yep, exactly. No, that's so cool. That's neat that the passion actually started so long ago for you.
Yes.
And so now about this car, so you mentioned it's a 1944.
Right. I found this on Samba. It was located in Finland, of all places.
So just around the corner.
Yes. And I have a good friend in Belgium, BBT Bob.
I've never heard of that guy.
Yeah, I know. He's a character. But you know, if you need something, that's the guy to go to. Trust me,
the truth, man?
He can make things happen.
Isn't that the truth? He's hooked you up, me up.
Yep,
I mean,
everybody's in the business.
Yep.
So I called him. I said, hey, there's this car in Finland. Can you send somebody over there and look at it and tell me if it's the real deal and everything? And he calls me back next day. He's like, okay, it's yours. You know, that was it.
I know, isn't that crazy?
I'll ship it and bring it to you. I said, well, shit, that's even better. So, you know, I mean, and you know, having that type of connection makes buying a car so much easier, because I know people, you know, if I didn't know that person, I would have looked at the car and that would have been a dream and said, I can't buy it. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to ship it. You know, all that stuff goes through your mind. But once you have a good connection, and then so I bought in 3 cars overseas, and no problem any of the times.
Awesome. That is awesome. You know, it's crazy how the internet has made the world so small, actually.
Right.
And it's so much easier to now find things. And then, with good friends and good connections, it's a nice way to go ahead and get stuff, you know, shipped over.
Exactly.
Definitely makes you feel more secure. That is cool. Well, give us a little walk around tour real quick of this.
Okay. This is a 1944 Kubel. It was born January 17th. It was shipped to a center. And that's all I know about it, other than it came from Finland, which I can only assume that it was a Russian front car. So obviously it went to Russia, and it's you know, I think it does have a little bit of war damage on it still from the war,
which I think is definitely cool.
But it's in great shape. You know, the pan's in great shape. The motor's a 25 horsepower motor.
25 horse.
25 horses.
You know, I mean, and it's crazy when you start thinking about this thing, just the gearing, obviously. Now, speaking of gearing, what does this thing have?
Well, you know, it has it's a non-synchro transmission. And for people who, you know, if you don't know what a non-synchro transmission means, that means you have to double clutch for every gear.
Every gear?
Every gear. You put the clutch in to take take it out of gear, and then you got to put the clutch in again to take it into the next gear. So they call that a double clutch. And it's an art to driving it, because you will grind gears if you forget the double clutch. And you know, this car has gear reduction boxes. So this is
like
a mini bus.
So would it be like a barn door type?
It would be a barn door style transaxle.
Okay. Wow.
And then we can open up the back here.
Sure, go for it.
Now, this is for military.
Okay.
What you do is at night when you're driving, you know, you don't want to be having lights on or anything like that, but
So
there would be lights here on.
Okay.
Now the object of that is that when you're driving, the idea is if you want to see only one light with these two lights, that means you're far enough away from the vehicle. But if you're too close, you'll see two lights.
Oh.
So that means, oh, I'm too close, I got to back off.
Oh.
So you that keeps you at a certain distance when you're traveling at night. I know, that's pretty crazy.
It's pretty.
That's also the stoplight. These are
Right.
just running lights.
Okay.
And this car would not have turn signals, but they put turn signals in it to make it legal.
Safety. Yeah. That is something else. I mean, it makes you wonder how did they learn about the light thing? You know.
Well, exactly. You know, I mean, even the U.S. military used the same thing. You know, we when you're going out at nighttime maneuvers, and of course, being a 44, I had to get a plate for the 44.
Absolutely.
Now, what's interesting about 1944, they did not have any tags. Because metal was a rarity,
right?
And so it would have been a paper tag.
Okay.
Now this happens to be a metal tag, and that's for a motorcycle.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
So
there's a bear on it.
Yeah, it's a bear, but that's a 1944 tag for a motorcycle.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. So we'll take a look at the engine here.
Whoa, look at this, huh? Oh, I like that. First, look at the prop.
Now that can in the back, that's a reproduction, and that would be a can of oil that they would carry in the vehicle.
Okay.
So extra can of oil.
All right.
This thing here, this is an oil can that would be for your weapons and stuff. Oh, okay. And then you take this top off, and there's a little squeegee thing here. So that would be the oil parts and things like that.
Okay.
So, and then your jack, and then that's a toolbox in the back over inside. Now everybody asks me, what the hell is this? And
what the hell is that?
What the hell is that? There would be an extra line coming from here to come up here. And as you can see, this is a switch, and you can add gasoline to this. And this would be used for, you know, if you needed to start a fire or whatever. It was just a way of getting some extra gas.
Wow. Okay, so fitting here, get gas, and then just pump it up here.
Pump it up to here. Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That is so cool. Look at the regulator on this thing.
Well, now I'll be honest.
Yeah.
This car is a 12-volt car.
Oh, it is?
Yes, it's 12 volt. So it's almost all original.
Okay.
But
for today's day and age,
that is a 12 volt. It would have a deregulator. What's interesting is if you notice, you don't see an ignition coil.
You're right.
Yeah. Look where the wires go. Okay. So the ignition coil is in the back. All right. And you say, well, hell, how do you change that? Well,
there it is.
They were smart, and they put an access port in the back, so they can unscrew it, and they can get to it in the back.
Wow, that is so cool. And look at this, though. I love the ducting here.
Now, if you wanted to prime the carburetor, this is where you would open this up. You would pour gasoline in this, and that way you could prime it in cold weather to get it started.
So cool.
So you had a primer, and if you notice how high the air filter is, so it could go into water, technically, probably this high.
Wow. Say, let's do it. That is crazy. That is really cool.
Now you know it's got a hand crank, so you would hand crank the hand crank ports right here. So you would hand crank the car if you needed to start it.
Look at that.
And dual mufflers. Is that crazy?
Dual mufflers. Yeah.
Dual mufflers.
Look at this. Look at that. That is cool. Now I love how this light here, this reflector is on a swivel. So when you're going uphill or downhill, it just kind of stays level, huh?
Right.
Look at the tin on this. Huh. That is wild. And I wonder if that's, I mean, yeah, it looks like it could be obviously utilized as a tow bar.
Yes.
Okay.
You can't. There's a unit right here that would mount onto here, and it would be a for a tow bar.
Now, what went up here? On the
here would be a air pump.
An
Air pump and
okay.
the hand crank.
Oh, okay. Huh. Have you ever seen one of those air pumps?
It's a normal bicycle pump.
Oh, really?
Just a normal bicycle pump.
Wow.
Yes. And I happen to have one, but
dude, that is cool. Now, what's the in the handle over here? Is that for the?
No, that's for the jack.
That's for the jack.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. How cool is that? I mean, just incredible. Love it. Love it. And whenever I'm looking at cars like this, it just blows my mind that someone thought of this. Someone came up with this idea.
Oh, and they used the same engine all the way up until 53.
Jeez.
And which is amazing. So
yeah.
they built it for 12, 13, 14. I mean, 1940. So,
right.
So
how cool.
13-year production.
Look at that. And it's a trip.
And what's interesting is the brakes. There's no hydraulics. The brakes are all cable.
Oh, they're all cable brakes.
All cable brakes.
Wow. Okay.
So when you pull on the brake lever, all four brakes will lock up.
Really?
Instead of just the two brakes in the back, all four lock up.
So it's all-wheel brakes.
All-wheel brakes on the brake handle.
That is something else. How cool. I mean, this is this is so rad, dude. And I love how the front doors, they open up, as we call it, suicide style.
And if you look at the doors, they're identical to each other.
Look at that.
If you look at that, you just swap it around.
You got your shovel. And you told me you had your emergency fix on your mirror here because you had a little faux pas.
My mirror fell off. So, hey, tape works.
That is cool. Now, what is one of your favorite things about driving this car?
Oh.
What's one of the things that you enjoy aside from the looks?
It's a 4-door and a convertible. Come on, I mean, how can you not like a 4-door convertible?
Right.
And it cheap on gas and it's everybody gives you a thumbs up when you drive it. So
no, I think it's awesome, man. It's definitely cool. I dig it. I feel like it. When we were driving over here, just you're going back in time.
Yes.
And when you start thinking about the amount of people, that well, probably not a huge amount of people, but people that actually went ahead and drove this for the purpose that it was intended for.
Right.
Yeah, it's just
after the war, this was the vehicle that was used quite a lot by the civilians. I mean, post office, fire department, just general anybody, and in East Germany there was just a lot of these in East Germany, and they would take the chassis and put bodies on them, like a Porsche body or whatever, because they were so starved for a Porsche. There'd be guys building cars over there that looked like Porsches or buses. They would use a Kubel chassis.
Wow. Is the wheelbase the same as a Beetle?
You could take this body off, and put a Beetle on it.
Really? Okay.
Yes. With no trouble at all.
Wow. So same wheelbase.
Same wheelbase, everything.
And then as far as the front beam, do you know?
Well, it's a little higher.
It's a little higher.
And the shocks are smaller, obviously.
Got it.
The shocks in the back are lever shocks, so they're single cylinder lever shocks.
Oh, the pistons, yeah.
Pistons, yes.
Okay, very cool.
And the fronts are like so small; they're really tiny.
It almost makes you wonder if they're doing anything.
Yes,
huh?
Exactly.
That is awesome, man. Well, seriously, Kimball, this thing's super cool. I love it. And, I also got to say that I think it's really neat how when I've seen you at shows, you're so generous with it.
Well,
you let people drive it and cruise it around. I think that's really cool, man.
It's because I was fortunate to go to Japan with Shin Watanabe.
Uh-huh.
And when I was over there, they treated me like a king, and for 2 days I drove a Hemuller around for the Treffen.
Right.
And I said to myself, this is like the most experience that I could ever want in my life.
Right.
And when I came back and I bought this, and I said, you know what? How many people? What type of how would a person change? Just I got to drive a 1944 Kubel.
Totally.
So I try to reach out and let people drive it as much as possible, just so that they and everybody. I've never seen anybody walk away with a no smile. It's always the biggest smile from ear to ear, and a big thanks. And
that's so cool.
It makes my day when I can make somebody happy.
No, I think it's awesome, and it's aside from the fact that it's just really cool, it's also educational.
Right.
I think it makes people appreciate a lot more,
Exactly.
what people went through in the past, and obviously what we have today.
Right.
So, dude, thank you. Do you mind if we go for a cruise?
Let's go for a cruise.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right.
Here we go.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Okay. So Eddie, this is a treat. I don't think anybody would know how to steal this car.
Wait a minute. So you're going to show them how?
Yeah, pretty much. First thing people do is they see this key and they turn it.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
that turns the lights on.
That turns the lights on?
Yeah, that turns the lights on.
Oh my gosh. You're kidding me.
That's a key. It looks like a nail.
Whoa, look at that. Hang on a second. Show that. Look at that.
And it's hella.
Dude.
Go figure.
Yeah, no kidding. So hold on a second. Really?
So if you don't have a key, you
Yeah.
can use a screwdriver. And,
well,
and put
don't
it in.
say that.
Yeah. So,
Oh my gosh.
so okay, so you put the key in.
Okay.
You push it all the way in.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh.
And it's just like any other Volkswagen. Push button starter.
Whoa. That's the funny thing, Kimball. Everybody now with modern cars, they think, push to start. How modern.
Yes. How modern. And this is the light for the speedometer. And that's the only light in this whole car.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dual wiper motors, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
and they do
all right.
work.
Well, that's pretty rad. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Yeah. Look at this. So I've got one. You've got one.
Yeah.
You know what? That would actually be pretty cool to put in the car today.
It would be. And then here is the fuse box. And
Okay.
they believed in having fuses.
Dude, that's a lot of fuses.
That's a lot of fuses. I wouldn't even know where to start, where to begin.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever found a wiring diagram for one of these?
I'm sure there's one out there. I'm sure there's out there.
I mean, it's going to make you wonder what's all that connected to.
Exactly.
Wow. Now, I do have to say this. So this is interesting. So 25 horse, and with, crash box, bus box, 100K on the Speedo? Really?
Yeah, really. And the recommended speed, the maximum speed that they recommended was 70 kilometers.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me.
Yeah. So what is that? 48 miles an hour.
Yeah. And this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
all right,
and that's fast. So
okay. Now, you mentioned a little bit ago in the interview double clutching, right?
Double clutch.
Okay. So hang on. Check out the shifter. Oh, this is cool, man.
As you can see, really small roller, tiny roller.
Oh yeah, big time.
You
All
know,
right.
identification tag would be welded onto the chassis.
Okay.
Okay, not like in the back.
All right.
So you got your this is your choke.
Okay.
Now, if you notice, there's no heater. There are vents for heater here, as you can see.
Oh,
the
yeah.
heater mechanisms in the engine compartment.
Oh, really?
There's a pole. Now, this one doesn't have it.
Okay.
But normally there would be a handle to pull to engage the heater.
Okay, got it. And what's this thing here then?
Well, that's 10 gallons of gas.
That's your gas tank?
That's a gas tank.
Wow.
Reserve on and off.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
and underneath,
oh, wait a minute.
you got the 3-way switch.
Dude, I didn't realize it was right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Here's the filler neck, and then here's the tank. So basically, that means that if we were
you
to head on,
got a bullet, you're dead.
Oh my God,
You're first. I'll be
thanks.
second.
Awesome.
And then you got a cheater bar.
Yeah. No, I do dig this. This grab handle's awesome, man. This is definitely good. All right, so let's see some of this double clutch action,
Okay.
huh?
All right. Now, why they call it a crash box? If I don't double clutch correctly, you'll hear a grind. Oh, that wasn't too bad.
Nice.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was pretty
I like
good.
it. I love
Now,
that.
Third and fourth are I call them God's because it's always forgiven. you almost don't have to double shift for third and fourth.
You don't,
But
okay.
from first to second, you have to double clutch.
You have to double clutch.
Now downshifting, near impossible.
Oh yeah.
Near impossible. I'm the worst downshifter in the world. So I drive in third gear a lot.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
As you
right.
can see, I'm cruising along in third, and it's working all right. I can downshift from fourth to third.
Okay.
But I got to be going about this fast.
Oh, nice, nice.
But from third to second, I can't do it. I'd have to get Christian Grunman over here to show me how to do it.
Right? No, it's awesome. I've got video of him driving the Schwimmwagen, you know?
Oh,
and that
nice.
thing is awesome, man.
Nice. Oh, a trick that I learned, because in the morning or when you first start and drive, that going from first to second, always grind the gears because the oil's not warm. So what I do is I usually take off in second gear and drive around for 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes, you know, and then after that I can go from first to second, and then it'll shift okay.
Interesting. So now, I mean, obviously just warming up the car, that's just warming up the engine, but it's not really doing anything to the trans. So,
no, but driving around,
Right.
that's gonna get the oil warmed up.
That's what I mean. So you got to drive it to actually get it going.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. All right, let's go. Let's drive around here.
All right, sounds good. Let's go for a cruise.
Hear that big old whine?
Yeah, big time, man. I love that sound.
Now, if you look way under there, there's a gas can. There's a spot in the compartment right there. You see?
Yeah.
And that's a jerry can.
All right.
Yeah, and that's an extra gas.
Extra gas.
Yes.
So, dude, you got a lot of gas in the front here. A lot of gas. Oh, how cool, man. This is cool.
Now we're going by Chino Airport. This used to be an old Army base, and let's see if we can. Oh, yeah, I tell you what we'll do. We'll go to another museum over here real quick, and we'll see some more airplanes that are outside. Great place to go to.
That is so interesting. I never knew about the whole double clutching.
Oh yeah. All your cars. I think it was Twitter. I think. Don't quote me. I think that's when they first had the synchro.
Okay.
But all cars before that were double clutch.
Okay. Are you a Yank?
I'm a Yank. I'm a Yank. So we'll go over here. If anybody out there likes airplanes, come to Chino Airport. They have 2 museums that you can go to. One's got World War II, and the other one has modern day.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I remember when the club, the RVA club, did the photo shoot out here. That was pretty cool.
Yes, we did. And okay, well, we got a couple planes over here. There you go. There's an F4 Phantom and a Skyhawk. Now, interesting thing about the Kubel is that when you have it first gear and you're moving along, as you can see, we're moving along pretty slow.
Right.
It was designed at this speed is what the marching soldier will march at.
Oh my gosh.
So when there's a column of people and they're marching, this is how fast the soldier should be marching as.
No way. You're kidding me.
No. This is why I win slow drags.
What? Dude, oh no wonder. That's your secret weapon.
Yeah, it drives pretty slow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
As you can see, first gear, it just slugs along. Not a problem.
That's insane. I mean, look at that.
Yep.
I mean, it's
no touch of the gas, no nothing.
No wonder
Yeah.
the same way.
I can get out and literally walk.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh shit, there it goes. Okay, get in, get in.
And that's the great thing about this
Dude,
car.
that's great. You scared me. I'm like, I'm actually going to film him getting run over by his own car. I'm like, this is not good. This is not good.
But it can be done.
That's cool. Very cool.
Okay.
So, Kimball, 5915 window. That was your first car.
First car.
What made you? I mean, why?
Tail bars on it, everything. It was
complete. The
Yeah,
whole.
yeah.
Obviously, back then most of them were.
And you know what? I took the middle seats out and threw them away.
Yeah.
Yeah. How sad is that?
That is very sad. As a bus guy, I'm heartbroken, man. Come on, dude.
You know.
So, but let me ask you something. I mean, as far as that bus, was that the only bus that was available at the time? Is that why, or just by chance it was a 15?
Well,
or you wanted that?
I had my brothers, fortunately, and my dad. My dad had a Volkswagen, and my dad was living in California.
And what did he have, by the way? What did he have?
He had a '56 convertible.
Oh, wow.
Black convertible.
Nice.
And my brother had two low light gears and a 55.
Dude, seriously?
Yeah, 2 low light gears and a 55. And then my other brother had a 67.
Okay.
And he bought that brand new.
Oh my gosh.
And so anyway, so I would come out to California at Christmas to see my brothers and my dad.
Okay.
And he would let me drive one of the gears.
Uh-huh.
And you know, I just loved the cars, you know. And I had my 59. I mean, at the time I didn't have my 59. So when I did get my car, I said, "Oh, I got to get a Volkswagen." You know, but I wanted a bus. You know, a bus was more because I like to camp and you know, do whatever, you know.
Okay.
And I drove, and we drove.
Do whatever. Do whatever.
Whatever. You know what a 16-year-old's thinking about. Trust me. Anyway, so we drove that bus when I finally came to California and stayed. We drove that bus from California to here.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That was a 3-4 day trip.
Wow.
My dad, my stepmom, and myself. My dad said, "Hey, you got a bus?" I said, "Yeah, I got a bus." He says, "Well, let's go get it. Let's go get it." Just like that. So he had a 61 Cadillac.
Okay.
And we hopped in that car, drove 2 days to Illinois, and it needed a little work, got the work done, and then we drove it back. He drove the bus, and I drove the Cadillac.
Oh my gosh.
And
big difference, huh?
Big difference. And slept in the car all the way there, all the way back.
That's wild.
We never got a hotel. We just roughed it.
That's cool. That is cool. That's the way to do it. I love it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience at a 36 horsepower and a Cadillac. It was crazy.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for letting me tell you a story.
I love that.